So this week I decided to make something from Henry Stickmin. And eventually it might become something more consistent as I make one thing from each game, since this is fairly focused on the first one. To start, I make a large block of aluminum foil and then cover it in light gray. After I do that, I make sure that it's all properly attached and stuff, all blend together in the proper way, all smoothed out and nice looking. And once that's done, I can begin to add the texture of this brick wall, which is supposed to emulate the outside of the bank wall from the first game. Right here, I add the brick texture, which is just lines going across horizontally. 2 lines going across horizontally, and because I'm bad, they did not line up on the back. As you'll see, they did not line up on the back at all. And after I have those horizontal lines, I can create vertical lines across the now 3 segments of bricks that I have. Now after I have that, I try to make it a rough brick texture by just rubbing it with a ball stylus until it looks all good and nice and, I guess, kind of brick-like. Yeah. And after I get this rough brick texture all across the entire design, I can then begin work on the main man himself, Henry Mr. Stickmin himself. I just start with black, thin out the arms and the neck, and then the body, similar to how I've made stick people in the past, such as those guys. And once I have that, I cut all of the limbs to size and attach him to one side of the wall before making sure that everything else is the correct size and shape, and shortening the neck to the correct size, and then making a head shape out of white clay. Then after I have the head shape, I add in 2 black lines as eyes. I push in a little mouth, indenting it instead of adding a black line because I just have found over the years that I like that look more. Then I attach it to the neck stub and smash it into the wall because, well, that's the best way to support it. And then I add a second part of one of his arms going out of the front. Then after that, I add his second arm going out the back. And following that, I add his 2 legs, all of which just being small coils. And after I have all of those small coils, I add 2 brown circles for his shoes. Once I have those 2 brown circles, I can then begin work on making a white worm that I then squish into a 3-fingered hand, 3 fingers total, and attaching that to the hand that is not carrying anything. And while I do make a second one, I wait to attach it until I make the teleporter later. Of course, first, before that, I have to add Henry Stickmin's classic eyebrows, and once those eyebrows are added, I can then add that teleporter I was talking about earlier. I make a slightly darker gray, it's supposed to be a little darker, but that didn't quite work, and I pinch out an antenna, and then add some green to the front, before making the antenna a little better, and then cutting the screen into the proper squares. After that, I add a red dot in the middle, place the hand on the back. I add a yellow dot on the top. Then place the hand on the back and place the hand on the arm. Once the hand is placed on the arm, I work on making an actual base type thingish, which is just sand on the front where Henry's face is, and then on the back, a gray wall, followed by, once that's placed down, a money bag, starting with a yellowish brownish tan, that gets pushed into a punching bag shape, with the top part being pinched up to make it look like you can open it. And then after that, I get a red string with the knot on the outside of the bag. I add a knot on the outside of the bag, and then that gets pushed into where I want it to be, followed by the adding of a money symbol on it, because what's a good money bag if you don't know there's money inside? Once that money bag is added, this is done, and now that it's baked, it's actually done.